I have a beef to pick with Roy.
What'd I do this time?
It's not this time, because I'm not sleeping this time, but...
Wait, what?
I'll explain. And don't worry, this is not some sort of detailed Amin dream recollection, because those are crazy. Roy, there's some times where I'm listening to the show, and I maybe drift off into sleep, right? I've got my buds in my ears, I'm drifting off.
That's rude.
And you, I know.
When?
It's probably usually when Pablo's talking, I think.
No, but like when during the day would one have an AirPod in and fall asleep listening to a podcast?
I last night did it listening to a
Is that weirder than showering while you listen to your podcast?
Yes.
You can't fall asleep listening to a podcast?
But like not with AirPods in. Unless you're on a plane, then it makes sense.
What if I'm just sleeping on my back?
Like at night?
Then you're
No,
snoring
in
probably.
the middle of the afternoon. No, I
Do
don't
you
sleep
wake
now.
up and take them out, or like?
Yeah. I've actually it's been a couple of times I've woken up and just threw them off and then had to go find them.
Yeah.
I read an industry blurb that the sector that's seeing the most growth within audio podcasts is like white noise podcasts that help you actually go to sleep.
Me some white noise. I've graduated from just an app on my phone to just running like my little Bose speaker overnight with a YouTube app or YouTube thing of just 10 hours straight of thundering.
How is this a growth area though? Because there's a finite amount of white noise. Once there's one thing of white noise, do you need more?
I'm going to show you my app.
How many white
you can
noises
scroll through this and see the amounts of random noises that you could fall asleep to. There's like a dryer spinning.
Why don't
There's
you
like
buy a sound machine?
What's the
I
funniest
did. I bought one of those. I've graduated a few times.
Would you have a hatch?
I judge it because the slightest sound drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like one of the things, my wife, if she goes shopping and she has like a plastic bag filled with clothes like on the floor and the fan's hitting it, I'll occasionally hear like the wind whip against it, and I'll have to put the bag in the closet because I need total
Drives you
silence.
nuts, yeah.
So I always judge these people that go to sleep listening to podcasts because I couldn't wrap my head around it. But there were a lot of people that listen to us and we put them to sleep.
I should be clear. I'm falling asleep during the day. I'm just sort of on the couch. Maybe I've finished around the horn and I just need a second to recover, listening to the show and drift off into sleep. And multiple times, Roy, you have jarred me out of my nap with your over-the-top reactions. And man, just back off the mic for a second. Like you have scared me out of sleep, Roy. I have been sitting there and I just jump and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I go back and I listen to the joke and it was nowhere near as funny as that reaction.
Whoa!
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
Now, I know it was your thing for a little bit,
Whoa.
but just a little bit less like regularly.
So
maybe,
Roy-
so that some of us can sleep
God
while
damn.
the podcast is playing.
I will take that under advisement.
So Roy is like,
Chris, what did we tell you about doing impressions of black men?
oh no.
yeah, don't do that.
God damn.
This is going to be a split wedding one of these days.
Gosh darn it.
Roy's like the least like mic hungry person here, and
Yeah.
what you're saying is he should speak less.
What I'm saying is it feels like Roy got a raise and is trying to speak more to live up to the raise.
Roy didn't
because
get a raise.
I used to love, I know that, trust me. I used to love when Roy would just slide in with a random chubby checker. But now, it's just a little louder, is all I'm
Wow.
saying. It could be more, just not as loud.
I
Because
would
some of us are trying to nap.
I would go the complete opposite direction.
Wait a minute.
Roy.
So hold on. We should be programming this show based on when people are trying
Exactly.
to nap. That is an absurd
This is
request.
a very minute section of the audience.
Or you should be programming the show with what makes the sound people happy. Because I just got somebody in my ear saying, I'm not lying. Roy, you can go deal with them.
But Izzy, like this is a problem with the particular way that you nap. Like, don't have AirPods in when you nap.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I didn't
like,
put
the
my
thing,
AirPods
do the
in and
thing that the
planned
rest
on
of us
napping.
do, which is you put the phone on your belly.
Yeah.
You like have
Turn
it
on
like,
the daily.
right. Except turn on the daily.
Wow.
And then you can set a sleep timer.
Perfect
do-
napping pod.
I do have
Yeah,
a soothing
no.
voice. No.
But like you put on the sleep timer. You should definitely do this if you're gonna nod off with the podcast on. Set a sleep timer for like 8 minutes. So then by the time
You
you're
can fall asleep in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
For a nap,
No,
yeah.
no,
For a
that's-
nap, yeah.
oh,
the
yeah.
average
That's-
human
no
falls asleep between like 3 and 7 minutes.
No.
I don't
I
buy it.
am not average.
Not
can do
real.
There's no
Fell
way.
asleep in about 30 seconds.
No
last
way.
night.
What a blessing.
Well, my beef with Roy, it's not really a beef, Roy. It's just
I wish that I could
tone
fall
it down a little
asleep
bit.
in 30
Okay.
seconds.
30.
Yeah, he said he could fall asleep
There's
in 30
apparently
seconds.
something you can do, like if you press against your wrist, like something like really hard multiple times, and
Couldn't
I
you
gotta
also
look it up.
die that way? Aren't there like isn't like this the whole plot of a Denzel Washington movie that's coming out, which is like he like there's a scene where he like takes someone's hand, is like pressing on the one point in
And
their
there's
hand.
a
there's
secret
no
place
deeper-
they kills-
Equalizer 3?
I don't think that's
There's
real.
no deeper sleep than death. I always say this. People love them
You
some
always say
sleep, but
this.
that's only because they know they're going to wake up.
You should try Demerol.
Yeah.
Too loud, Roy.
Right.
Well, Rob, this is funny because my
A little lower.
transition
bit lower.
is to Roy's beef. So apparently, we have kept Witty here for another hour because you have a beef with Chris Wittyngham. I hope it's
I really should have left.
just more detailed and
Well,
a
it's your
bigger beef
birthday.
than mine because mine wasn't really that serious.
It is. It's been about a year and a couple of weeks since possibly one of the worst sports takes I've ever heard.
So about 2 weeks before Witty's last birthday.
Giannis
Yes.
is a 2.
No. No.
Wow, that's not even it.
No, this is
I
about
forgot about that one.
The Panthers made a terrible trade for Matthew
Yes.
Tkachuk.
This has
Yes.
to be Panthers related.
Yes, it is Panthers related.
course.
Because now I had the results. All right. So Florida, they made the playoffs.
The results.
58
Okay,
weeks
let's
later.
hear these.
Yes,
let's
Florida.
hear the results on the player who accumulated fewer regular season
You're
points
still
and
doing
about
this.
30 fewer regular season
he's about
points
to take
in the
such a
regular
sip.
season.
Look at this
Okay,
sip,
all
ready?
right, let's
Ready?
hear this.
The
All
results
right.
are.
Okay.
You're
look
looking
at
at
that
a
sip.
video of yourself, by the way. Roy's not even on
Oh,
that
sorry.
camera.
I was looking at Roy because
Yeah.
when Roy is there, I guess I could look at
I
you.
would look at
He's
myself
there.
if I was
But
in
that's
that
further.
shape.
You're
Look
seeing
at his
more
face.
side profile if I look at Roy.
All right. Matthew Tkachuk finished the regular season, 40 goals, 69 assists, 109 points.
That's fewer points than Jonathan Huberdeau's 115
Stop
in 2021,
interrupting.
2022. Go ahead.
Stop
This season,
interrupting.
Jonathan Huberdeau, 15 goals, 40 assists, 55
what
points.
were his points in 2021, 2022?
We're not talking about the previous season. We're talking about this
it was with the
season.
Florida Panthers. We're comparing their Florida Panthers seasons.
No, we're talking.
No, we're talking
this
about
season.
these two
No,
players
we are
in the
talking about
context of the
this
Florida
Witty,
Panthers.
Witty.
this is
you
not
owe
how
all of us an
beefs
apology
work,
for
Witty.
that terrible
The
take.
League's Cup
Roy,
championship mattering. Makes
give
a
it
lot
to
of
me
sense
again,
now.
Roy. Give me the stats and tell me why Witty needs to
At least
capitulate.
At least Inter Miami
I-
won something with their
Every
superstars.
single hair of that widow's
I
peak
didn't say
needs
it.
I had
to
another
capitulate.
one. I had another one. In the playoffs,
Yeah,
which
go on.
Jonathan Huberdeau did not play in, Matthew Tkachuk, 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points.
Yeah, what happened in the Stanley Cup final?
This is a
They
late-
made the Stanley Cup final.
but what
Roy,
happened?
this
But
is
what
what I'm
happened?
talking about.
But
This
what
is a
happened?
late
What happened?
Roy, somebody
okay,
just
all right.
now
Fair
at
enough.
10:23 Eastern time woke up from an accidental nap
That's
because
too
you
early for a
yelled.
Well, I hope they wake up to hear this apology.
He's
from
not
Chris
the only.
Wittyngham.
He's not the only
Their
one yelling.
sleeping patterns
Why are
are
you
off,
yelling at
Chris,
Roy?
Why are you
because of the
singling
Women's
out
World
Roy?
Cup.
You
okay?
just raised your voice.
Yeah, why are you
Just
singling
waking
out
up.
Are you
Roy?
waking yourself
Did
from
I
a
yell
nap?
at a Roy level?
See, I'm defending Roy, and yet
Yeah.
somehow he's the one that's going after me.
That's
don't
what I was
understand
doing
this.
with
No,
Miami before.
this is a different
Yeah.
subject now. We've gone to my subject.
Okay,
And
all right.
you owe all of us in this room and all the Panthers fans in the nation
Roy,
an
give me
apology.
those
You don't owe me
numbers
anything.
again.
You're
Give me those
fine.
numbers
We're
again.
square. Don't worry about me.
But
We're good.
wait, give me those numbers again.
Yeah.
But pretend you're recording for a sleep sound machine, and you're going to put people to sleep with these statistics. Okay?
ASMR.
Powerful
Just read the
ASMR
statistics normally and you'll put them to
statistics.
sleep.
In the regular season, Matthew Tkachuk scored 40 goals, had 69 assists, and 109 points, while Jonathan Huberdeau for the Calgary Flames scored 15 goals, 40 assists, and 55 points. In the playoffs, Matthew Tkachuk had 11 goals, 13 assists for 24 points. Jonathan Huberdeau in the playoffs did not play.
Whoa!
In 2021, 2022, Jonathan
God
Huberdeau
damn.
for the Florida Panthers had 30 goals, 85 assists, and 115 points as the Florida Panthers won the President's Trophy.
Which season do you prefer, Witty, in recent Panthers history?
2021, 2022.
Really? Just in
I
general? I hate
wow,
you.
that's
You found it
fine.
more successful.
Why do you do
That's
this to
absurd.
yourself?
You genuinely, I don't like you.
How do you dig yourself further
not
into a
real.
hole?
I'm with Witty on
He
this
won't
one.
give you. He won't give
guy.
you this dub.
Is he?
My guy.
I think Mike might kick me out of the puck chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Puck Witty.
But how
That's
long?
why he's doing
Is
this.
it still called that?
How long were you happy in 2021-22 with that season? A lot.
I mean,
Right
yeah.
now it's Puckdale Talon because Marcia Show won the
Yeah.
most valuable
My
player.
guy, Jonathan Marchessault.
And then how long were you unhappy? One series. How long were you happy this season? It wasn't until they actually made the playoffs.
It wasn't until like Game 6 in
So
Boston.
you're talking about 3 or 4 weeks of
How
happy?
low were the lows last season?
There was just one low.
And how it
Yeah.
felt
How-
after
yeah.
the entire
how,
offseason.
how low was the low of watching Matthew Tkachuk get hurt in the Stanley Cup final because he had completely irritated the entire Las Vegas Golden Knights to the point where they wanted to injure him?
How low is the low? You go to one Stanley Cup final game finally in your life and you leave early because they're going to lose anyway and you get scammed by an Uber.
It
What are
is
we
such.
doing?
It is
Wait,
such.
wait,
a,
what?
It is such a
What is
bad
this, Lucy?
faith argument that Chris Wittyngham is engaged
I
in.
can't even look at him.
I totally checked out on this,
You're
and I
looking directly
appreciate
at him,
Roy
Chris.
because Roy wants Witty to capitulate, as many do. I've been trying to get Witty to capitulate on this for the better part of 6 months, he refuses. It's the most stubborn he's ever been.
Well, he
about
also
anything.
hasn't put his $5
And
on,
he's
by
so
the way.
fact-based usually.
He knows he's got a losing argument, and he will not give anybody the satisfaction to the point that he was rooting against the Florida
He
Panthers.
keeps grabbing his tea.
Yeah.
That's his move.
The Florida Panthers are my 31st favorite hockey team now.
Wow.
What?
He
Yeah.
does not like being
Actively
wrong.
dislike them.
He
Who's the first?
Actively dislike them. The first is the Calgary Flames, actually.
God damn it.
I have a question for Izzy.
Please.
What's that, Billy?
Because you said something earlier where you
Thank
were
you, Roy.
saying that Roy overreacted to a meme or something like that, and it kind of got me thinking, where do you rank yourself amongst the co-hosts?
Wow. Give me the list. Who do we consider the co-hosts?
Okay, well, there's Pablo, who was in last week.
Mhm.
There's Amin.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mead's kind of permanent, no? He's not a co-host.
Greg
Dominique.
Cody.
Bit of an oddball. Dominique, Greg Cody.
Samson.
Ooh, I'm above Samson. I think,
Stugotz, too.
Yeah.
I think I leave
Now,
that.
now whose ranking is this?
His
Is this
ranking, where he
Izzy's-
views himself, yeah.
Okay.
On this
So-
list.
So, like, if you saw like the podcast description for the show and you saw Izzy as co-hosting today, you as a listener, where would you put
That would be weird if Izzy wouldn't listen on Izzy days.
Is it weird? Because I never listen back to myself. Like, the only thing that I've listened back to myself was Chris's favorite podcast, 4 Years of Heat. And that's because I had to listen to every single word to make sure there was no mistakes in there. And then
good
I was like,
podcast.
oh, you know what? Not bad. I sound pretty decent. But I don't listen to anything that I listen to, that I do. But if you want me to rank them, currently, because it's obviously a moving list, it's
Are you
fluid.
going 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? What are we
Ooh,
doing?
I'm going one to 5.
Okay, so this is the top.
This is the top. This
Got
is the
it.
top. And to me, because there's so much responsibility here, I got to go Pablo Torre. He's gotten really good at it, even though he tries to talk to you about religion and space and all this stuff randomly. I mean, Greg Cody is constantly my favorite.
Well, he's not because you put Pablo number
Second
one.
favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you imagine Greg Cody driving the show. And then I've got to go me and Fox is a tie. So that's what, tied for third? So my
Yeah.
Who are we
So
missing
now it's a
here?
So now it's a
5.
fifth.
Stugotz and Samson.
Well, the Stugotz really? I'm
Stugotz
going
shouldn't
to
count.
have to
Well, at this point, he
go
is a guest co-host.
Stugotz. So I saw a great work of art over the weekend. I've seen it a few times, but Maxx Crosby's body. Have you seen Maxx Crosby? He's a Las Vegas Raider. He's a defensive lineman, and he is covered in some of the most detailed. Bob, this was one of those situations where they could have used a photo, right? One of the most detailed tattoos I've ever seen. It's just his entire body covered in, like, what I remember mostly is just faces, just images of people, including like Michael Jordan, just a bunch of like random people on, probably not random, but a bunch of people on his body. And I can't help but think in these situations, like, yes, it's cool to have, you know, the most unique tattoos in the world. Like, you take off your shirt and you're super recognizable, blah, blah, blah. But my mind immediately goes to sex. And so does Chris's, based on that nod. My mind immediately goes to sex. And I just can't imagine, like, having sex with a human and then, like, looking up and their child is staring back at you from their chest. And it's all just a bit much. And I get, like, it looks good, but there are private moments where it's just, and then, like, where does it stop? It's a bit much. I'm not a fan.
I think there's a level of looking into your child's eyes that probably you don't want happening in that moment. I just can't imagine it's something that is much of a turn on to be like making eye contact with Michael Jordan as you're
like
looking at
screaming. I'm
somebody.
looking at a picture. By the way, you're absolutely right. It's incredible work by this tattoo artist, but there's screaming Kobe Bryant in there.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. Like, Kobe Bryant is screaming in your face while you are. Wait, where is Kobe Bryant on the body?
He's kind of like below the left nipple.
So
can't-
whatever
which, by
you
the
would
way,
be doing there.
I can't stop staring at his left nipple.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
That's what I'm looking at too.
Yeah, like both nipples are frankly hilarious.
The right one's more hidden.
Nah, the
the
left
one
nipple is the perfect.
I
The left
think
one is oddly out
The
there.
right one might be worse because the right nipple looks like it's coming out of his daughter's onesie.
It does.
But like, how does one
Wait.
with the left nipple?
That's a lot of pressure if you're having sex with this person and every time you look up it says be legendary. How am I supposed to finish this time?
One cannot tattoo a nipple, correct?
I don't know.
Apparently not, because I feel like it would have happened here.
But yeah, it sticks out like a sore thumb here. It's ridiculous
Sore nipple.
how odd his nipple is.
choices.
But yeah, you're right. The baby one is unbelievable. It's got to be a lights off situation with him now for the rest of his life.
These are all photos
Maybe-
you put up in your home office in your awards room.
I imagine his wife like asks him to cover the baby's face. Like, just put your right hand here. Maybe she puts the hand there. I don't know how they're,
Might have to be a Winnie the Pooh situation. Honestly, I think there's got to be a shirt. He's
you
always
said
got to be wearing
Winnie.
a shirt.
I'm glad you said Winnie because a lot of people just sometimes say Pooh and they think that are you
Pooh Bear?
and you would have said in a Pooh situation here it would have been totally different.
What?
People are in what? How did you not follow that?
I'm following, I think. Just wondering how we got
Look,
there.
people are into some freaky stuff, and I just don't want to do something freaky and then look up and see your daughter's face smiling at me.
It's a safe rule.
I feel like
Speaking of nipples,
I mean, it's-
Jesus, what are we doing here? Why am I looking at Joe Rogan's nipples now?
is that,
That was a thing last
that
week,
was last
yeah.
week. Those are the nipples. Those
Yeah.
aren't nipples. Those are like doubled up pencil erasers. Those are terrible.
So it's week 0 in college football,
I
huh?
was
Oh,
gonna
is
go
it?
with
Heck
speaking
yeah,
of
it
influence.
is.
I was gonna go with speak of influencers, but either way, I was gonna get back to Lucy.
College football's back. I'm back. There's no stopping us. No, Notre Dame Navy.
Well, you are here, but Jess is not here.
What's
Yeah,
on the
Jess is
docket
not
week
here.
0?
I'm super sad. Miss her already. She is in Ireland for Notre Dame Navy. This is actually kind of a crappy week 0, but it doesn't really matter. It's an appetizer for the season. I'll take anything at this point. So Notre Dame Navy's big. We'll also see USC play. Well, we won't. It's on Pac-12 Network, so no one's going to see that. But it's a mild week 0. It's just something to just sort of get the
FIU
juices
plays in week
flowing.
0.
Which
Really?
appetizers are these? Like right now, if you're describing week 0 as
an amuse-bouche.
appetizers at a restaurant, not great appetizers, but middle of the road. What are we eating here this weekend?
Mozzie
It's-
sticks?
No, shut your mouth.
No, we're not going to do that.
Those are great
Nachos, but the
That's great.
individual ones.
It's
That's
like
like
the-
one not like it's not a mountain of nachos.
Yeah.
It's like the Chili's nachos. No one wants that.
with no
It's
side.
like a gluten-free pretzel, and you can taste that it's gluten-free.
Oh,
What about just like a
no.
regular pretzel, but they don't bring you beer cheese; they just bring you mustard?
Oh, that's good too. Where you're like, there's something more. Like it's fine, but there's something more out there, and that's week 1.
What are your Saturdays like?
They're intense.
Are they?
Yeah. So I lived in LA before this, R.I.P. And
Oh, because of the earthquake.
yeah, because of the earthquake and the
hurricane.
flooding
Too
and all
soon,
that stuff.
probably.
Which West Coast time was elite for college football because I'd wake up at like 8 a.m. I have one TV and then I have a little TV and then I have an iPad, so I'd do 3 games at once. Then I'd have my computer up so I could tweet fast. And then I would also scroll Twitter on my phone as well because you need multiple screens. And then I would just switch back and forth. I really wouldn't move that much. I wear compression socks so I don't get blood clots.
Like you're a nurse?
I like
That's the
that.
level
Yeah.
of preparation.
It's very intense.
Is it because you're standing and applauding a lot?
It's
or?
because I'm sitting. I'm not moving
No,
at
she
all.
wants to keep the flow, the
I want to
circulation
keep the
going.
flow
yeah.
of blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I'll DoorDash food like twice. I'll usually make breakfast. But now that I'm East Coast, I'm not that excited for it.
Really?
Yeah, because
Why?
it starts at noon, so I have all this time in the morning, and I don't really like College GameDay anymore. I don't. Lee Corso is on his last leg. Like it makes me so what?
Whoa,
It makes
going after
me
a
so
legend.
sad to see him out there when I'm like, let him rest.
Well,
Let him take a break.
Not peacefully, just
maybe
No,
he
just
does-
like nap.
But it seems like he likes to do it.
Yeah, but it's like it can be hard to watch at times. When he was like, my hot take is someone from the SEC won't win the SEC championship game, you're like, oh.
Lucy wants him to go straight from working to death. No
I don't want
retirement.
him to
Please
die.
let him
I
rest
just
in
want
peace.
him to like rest in the sense of like go on vacation, like go to the beach, hang out with your family, just relax.
When you guys think of noon, game day's over. We're going to a crappy noon ESPN game. What do we think of?
Nebraska.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Iowa.
I'm
sorry,
thinking
it's
Michigan
Iowa.
State, Purdue.
Ooh, Purdue is a good shout. No, I think Northwestern is usually prominently involved. It's always like all right, that's it for College Game Day. Coming up later today, it's the SEC, game of the week. But right now, it's Michigan State and Purdue.
What?
Like, here's Bob Wischusen on commentary. Thanks, Reese.
What week are we in? Because if it's like week 8, it's Miami Duke.
You know what?
Yeah.
Like,
Great
Once
game.
Miami's lost a few games,
I
it's
also
Miami
feel like
Duke.
there's
Duke
a
is
lot of
back.
Missouri Tigers football that gets played on like ESPN2 at noon.
Yeah, and we lose that this year, right? Because the Big Ten's not on ESPN anymore.
So it's going to be
so,
Auburn at noon.
Yeah, it's going to be some.
So better.
I think
Auburn, no.
East Carolina.
Absolutely not.
How late do your Saturdays go? Like when you started at 8, where would you go?
Are you
to?
up chasing Hawaii
I'm
like me?
Yeah, I'm a Pac-12 after dark girly. So like that was nice in LA, is I would be done by like 9 or 10. So if I wanted to go see my friends, then I could.
So this is the last year of Pac-12 after dark, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now we'll have like the odd Big Ten game that takes place at 10 o'clock at night. But for the most part, like 10 o'clock college football Eastern time is kind of dying.
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's like, I guess it's sort of nice for me now that I live on the East Coast again. But like, I love Pac-12 after dark. Like, that is sicko hours. That is the best stuff on TV.
Yeah.
Like Washington State. Oh my God, that is just awesome. That's quality product.
Do you invite people over to do this with you, or like you're just you and your compression socks with DoorDash?
I don't really want people there. Like,
like
I've had
that.
people there once, and I'm like, this is my moment.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have
Once.
to worry
I had
about,
people
like,
once.
Well, no, because then you feel like you have to host, presumably,
Exactly.
and you're like, I have business to attend.
And
No,
I
but
don't
if you're-
like going out to a bar either. I don't
Yeah.
want somebody to come up and talk to me. I'm
Generally-
trying to watch Iowa Rutgers.
Watching sports around people, largely overrated.
Yeah, but you don't have to
Exactly.
host. If I'm bringing people over for Saturday college football, it's not a normal party where I have to walk. I'm planted down. You're sitting somewhere we're watching.
And go help yourself.
Yeah.
Like
I
if you
don't-
want chips, go get chips. You want a drink, go get a drink. Like you can have the run of my house.
I don't want
can't
you
do that.
talking to me though. I don't want you to be like, "How was your week?" Shut up. Shut
Yeah.
up. Auburn, Arkansas is on. Be quiet.
I also just don't have the capability of having people over my home without feeling the intense need to please them.
Yeah,
Same.
visitors are stressful.
Hell yeah.
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
Yeah, college football Saturdays, they're my day. No one else's.
So the other day when I asked you politely, said, "Hey, we're gonna have to spend a Saturday at college football together," and you said, "Yeah," you
Yeah.
were lying through your teeth. to
Like
me.
this.
That
Yeah.
is not a good way to start.
we'll watch
a
from
friendship.
Izzy's boat.
Not a
I
bad
didn't think
idea.
you'd follow through.
Wow.
Not in a mean way. Just it's going to take time and like things will come up. I expected you to forget, and that's kind of what I was
Right.
hoping.
If you say no to Izzy once, you're dead to him.
Why don't we do it? Why don't we watch on like we
That's
can
a
watch
Roy
together
reference.
on like a Friday night game, like
Do
a
you-
nice Illinois Indiana.
Do you remember not too long ago where they showed on the screen a picture of my disgusting busted up face?
I did see that.
My only thought after that was, I better be able to keep my plans with my friends 2 weeks from now. Okay? So don't say that I, of all people,
were your
am going
plans?
to back
think
up.
it
My
was a
plans are
thing-
going out with Jess and Chris Cody on the boat. And I did not fail them.
No, I wasn't thinking you were gonna like bail on me. I
Hmm.
was thinking it would be more of a thing where like you would just forget about it.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story?
But we should watch on a Friday night.
Izzy invited me on his boat one time, and I couldn't make it with my wife. Never been invited again. So
not true.
if you just say, yes, it is.
No,
We
that's
have
not true. You've been invited a second time.
I
Ooh,
was?
you didn't make it that
Now,
time.
granted, you already knew you
I
weren't going
was-
to be there, so it was a
the
quick,
turning
I
tables.
can't make it. But
I was not invited a second time.
Yeah, you were.
No, just
Absolutely.
the once. I wasn't invited on the initial boat trip. I was invited on the second one. And then I said, oh, we can't. But
Let's
also,
get to the bottom of this, of whether this happened or not.
No, it's
Let's
fine.
go through the text history. Here we go.
Look, I'll tell you guys something right now. My body is not in boat shape right now. I can't be seen in public like this.
Yeah.
Without
even though
my
you got the
shirt on.
Peloton shirt on.
In front of coworkers. No, thank you.
Yeah, I said that to Chris one time. Last
You
time
said
we
that
were on
about
the
my
boat.
body?
No, I said that about my body, and he nearly threw me off the boat while it was moving. I was like, "Oh, I got dad bod going on," and he was like,
Yeah.
"Watch
Yeah, that's
this.
annoying.
I'm not even taking
You want
it
to talk about
back."
annoying?
That
Izzy
is.
saying that.
It is. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you shouldn't
I'm
say
sorry.
that at all.
I'm sorry. But you got a great photo out of it with your erect nipple and
What?
a good joke.
Thank you.
Oh,
Maxx Crosby.
Do you think LeBron's mad that he's not on Maxx Crosby's torso?
yes.
I think he is. Because, like, you've got Michael Jordan there. I get the Kobe Bryant one. But you've got Michael Jordan there. I feel like LeBron's called him and been like, what do I got to do to get on your back? Like, maybe, like, across the back where it says chosen one on him. Like, dude, just LeBron, like,
Legendary.
dying out. Like, see? I'm telling you, he has been in contact.
I feel like
with Maxx
LeBron's
Crosby.
not in a lot of tattoos. Like I'm thinking back to like tattoos that people put
Weird
out.
sentence.
I can't.
Nah, LeBron's stand-up is different.
I can't think of like a famous like this is LeBron tattooed on someone. You can think of it with like Jordan. You can think of it with Kobe. Like
Other than Maxx Crosby, who else has these tattoos with
Oh,
Jordan?
there's
Like,
a lot. There's
people-
got to be
plenty
lots
of
of
I just
Kobe
love
tattoos.
Billy has
and the
this whole
Jordan logo on a bunch of people.
Oh,
You have
And
this
they're
whole
all Dallas
catalog of
Cowboy
tattoos.
fans.
Yeah.
I think these days the Jordan stands, I'm sorry, the LeBron stands, rather than tattooing onto their body, they will just cut their hair into a design of LeBron's face, and it'll be gone in a
That's
week.
not as permanent. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's not living and dying. I think this is where LeBron is hurt by the fact that he's been on multiple teams. Because I think the LA people
They don't want to commit to a jersey.
Right, exactly. Well, no, you don't want to commit to it because, like, if you're a Cleveland person, you've been burned by LeBron before.
Yeah.
I think bringing up the Maxx Crosby topic is move myself down on the list of hosts.